Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hope you guys are having a good Friday morning. I was scrolling around the internet today trying to decide who I really wanted to make a video about, and one common theme happened. Derrik Meadows. Derrik Meadows kept popping up on my timeline on YouTube. Now, he's a four-star wide receiver out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He's got great size, great length, 6'5", 185 pounds. Ranked 51st overall nationally. So we're talking about an elite prospect when we talk about Derrik Meadows. And something that we've talked a lot about on this channel is how deep the board is, right, for Tennessee on the offensive line at wide receiver. You're not going to land them all. We're going to talk about them. We're going to break them down. We're going to follow the recruitment, but you're not going to get all of these guys. There was an interesting video over at On3. I want to take a listen to that and what they had to say about the wide receiver board. But then also this popped up on Twitter talking about Marcus Nash. Vol Football posted out Vol Archive record breakers. They're running down all of the numbers from Marcus Nash. Now, why Marcus Nash? Well, you can see that AP quote tweets it there and says the Vols are recruiting Derrik Meadows, who has been working with Marcus Nash out in Las Vegas. Now, at one time, Marcus Nash was his wide receivers coach at Bishop Gorman. Now, when he got the offer back in February the 16th from the Vols, this is what he had to say. He said it was huge because my receivers coach, Marcus Nash, went to Tennessee. He goes on and says he's a legend there. He played receiver for Peyton Manning, so that's awesome. As soon as I got the offer, I texted him and was like, Coach, I got the offer from Tennessee. He was so happy for me. We talk about VFLs, right? Vol for life. Coach Jay says all the time, football is family, and then it goes even deeper when you're talking about Tennessee football, and you can adapt Vol for life. It started as a player thing, right? A player movement, former players, Vols for life. But it's kind of blended into the fan base. And we talk about it all the time. Even the relationships from the Talkin VAWLS Network, guys from East Tennessee, West Tennessee, all the way out to California that have that common bond that is Tennessee football. Derrik Meadows says, obviously, Marcus Nash has been pitching Tennessee to him for quite some time. Says that he talks about him. He's always trying to encourage him to come to Tennessee. He was in town for the orange and white game, Derrik Meadows was. Said it was neat to see all the awards, see the recognition of Marcus Nash being a #1 first-round draft pick. But he's also familiar with Cedric Tillman, a more recent Vol for life. Said that Cedric Tillman's dad was his freshman coach. Said I would always talk to him about it. Said he was at Tennessee when I was in 9th grade, so I would see him and just talking to his dad about how he was doing. It is really great to see where he is. Is there enough connection there to get Derrik Meadows to Knoxville? We're going to break it down. We're going to get into it. But as always, I need you guys to do me a favor. That YouTube stuff, smash the thumbs up below the video. That's quick, free, and easy. If you're new here, welcome. We're not experts or insiders or media or reporters or any of that stuff. We don't pretend to be any of that stuff. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're going to be live later tonight. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have a watch party right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, watching the baseball team take on Vanderbilt. #1 ranked team in the country. Going to go take on Vanderbilt, so that'll be a good time. Come hang out for that tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But let's talk about Derrik Meadows. Again, you can see the profile on the screen there, 6'5", 185 out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He's a highly rated four-star prospect, 51st nationally, 7th best wide receiver in the country, one of the top players out of the state of Nevada. Now, I'm going to take a look at a scouting report and let you guys watch some of his highlights, and you can let me know what you like about his game. You can take a look at it there on the screen. Scouting report from 247 Sports. This comes from Greg Biggins. Says Meadows is a jumbo receiver and one of the more intriguing players in the 2025 class. Has a rare combination of size, athleticism, and body control, and is only scratching the surface of how good we think he can be. At 6'6", 200 pounds and an 80-inch wingspan, he's a matchup nightmare for smaller defensive backs and should be an immediate red zone threat. He can run as well, and is one of the region's top track athletes, although a hamstring injury limited him this spring. Said he was the Gatorade Track and Field Athlete of the Year as a sophomore. One of the region's top hurdlers, has a big frame, and it wouldn't shock us if he eventually grows into a pass-catching tight end who could be lethal working against linebackers and safeties down the middle of the field. Saying that, he has a receiver skill set, and we've seen him dominate on the 7-versus-7 circuit with his length, jump ball skills, and ability to catch the ball through contact. His upside is extremely high, and with the continued development, there's no question he has the potential to play on Sundays for a very long time. So again, when we're talking about the wide receiver recruiting board, right? We've talked about Jamie French, Caleb Cunningham. We've talked about the in-state guys. Radarius Jackson already in the boat. Joakim Dotson already in the boat. Cam Sparks, come on up. You're up. We'll see how this plays out, but the recruiting board is deep at the wide receiver position. I was over at On3 Recruits, and they asked Matt Ray specifically about that board, and I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to play a short little clip here from that, let you guys take a listen to what Matt Ray had to say.
The Volunteers are doing a great job when it comes to locking down in-state wide receiver talent. But they want to go national and land at least one of these national big-time names. And I'm talking Caleb Cunningham, Jamie French, Derrik Meadows, Travis Smith. So out of the guys I just mentioned, who do you think Tennessee could add from that group?
I think it's pretty interesting. I think, Tennessee's going to check on Jamie French later this week. They're checking on Caleb Cunningham right about now, about the time of this recording. They saw Travis Smith on Monday. They saw Derrik Meadows last week. Derrik Meadows is kind of the guy that I think is interesting. Out of this group, he hasn't been to Tennessee as much as the others have, but he'll be back, to kind of kick off June on his official visit tour. He'll get into town May 31st and start taking his official visit with Tennessee and then take the rest of his official visits. But to me right now,
so that's what Matt Ray had to say, and it's interesting because he talks about how Derrik Meadows hasn't been here as much as those other wide receivers on the board, and I think the orange and white visit kind of springboarded this thing because going into spring, this was an update from Chad Simmons back in February. He said the buzz is all about Notre Dame. He said they offered Meadows early. The Irish is the team to beat. He says he has connections with the staff, including the new wide receivers coach Mike Brown. They all make him feel like a priority. He said he's going to take an official visit to South Bend, and he may be back for spring practice. Again, this is going back to February. Said Tennessee is the only school he has a visit locked in with this spring, and he will be in Knoxville for the first time on April the 13th. His wide receivers coach is former Vol Marcus Nash. Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Michigan State, and a few others are on his radar as well. Says he has family in Michigan. Now, he was in town for that orange and white game, and I think that's where things kind of started to take off. Again, you've already got the connection with Marcus Nash, and Tennessee got in a little late. Didn't offer him until February, but you got him in town for that orange and white game, and he was giddy. If you watch the interviews coming off of that spring game, he loved the offense. He loved the atmosphere. He was talking about Nico doing his thing, talking about the wide receivers, seeing Dante Thornton make a big play, seeing Mike Matthews make plays. You don't think these guys take notice? These elite wide receivers that see that a true freshman like Mike Matthews or maybe even a Braylon Staley are going to have an opportunity to go out and make plays on Saturday. I think it's going to be crucial to see if we get more of a rotation at that wide receiver position. But when you see that young guys have an opportunity, these high-impact recruits get excited about that. He was very excited about his relationship with Coach Pope and Coach Heupel. And this was what Matt Ray said after that orange and white game visit. He said the Vols have much more of a shot at Derrik Meadows now. Said Tennessee impressed the coveted pass catcher during his visit. He will now take an official visit here in June. Connected well with Kelsey Pope and George McIntyre during his trip. The offense and the experience on campus also caught him by surprise. Tennessee has to keep getting him back to campus, but they have a shot there, in my opinion. Well, they are going to get him back on campus. As mentioned earlier, he will take an official visit to Tennessee on May the 31st, Georgia on June the 7th, Notre Dame on June the 14th, Alabama on June the 21st. I think Notre Dame probably still the team to beat here, but again, when you've got Nico out there making plays, you've got five-star quarterback George McIntyre in the waiting. You got Jake Merklinger. There is going to be a quarterback competition after Nico is off to the NFL, whether it be Jake or George. Tennessee is going to have elite quarterback play. Josh Heupel, I'm never going to be worried about quarterback. I'm not going to be worried about wide receiver. I think Josh Heupel knows a little something about throwing the football around in the SEC. What do you guys think? Derrik Meadows, kind of the name that pops off the board there for Matt Ray, but his name just kept coming up on Twitter, on YouTube, all over the place. And I was like, we're going to talk some Derrik Meadows today on the Talkin VAWLS Network. But jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. As always, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. You can go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Another way you can support this channel, think about hitting that join button. You can become a member of the channel for just $1 a month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. We would greatly appreciate that support. Don't forget tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, watch party for the baseball team against Vanderbilt. If you've never been a part of a watch party, come check it out. The members at that watch party enthusiast tier get to come on. It's like a fan call-in show, and we talk anything and everything. We'll watch the baseball game. We'll talk Vol football. We'll talk Vol football recruiting. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to get into tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.